Right then. Hi there folks, Tom here. StoneSpace. It is as it says. You start with nothing, you craft everything. Looking at the screenshots to this, it looks a little bit on the same style as Stardew Valley. Obviously with the exception, you're in a spaceship and you crash on a planet and you've got absolutely nothing. So I've been looking forward to playing this, and so I'm going to jump straight in and give it a play. It's my first time seeing this as well. Cough, cough, cough. And there we have our little person. Right, so at the minute, I'm not sure. Some of it's working with controller. Cough, gasp, cough. Clear your throat there, man. What happened? Where am I? Wait, I remember now. The Ark. It's completely destroyed. Oh, all those colonists. Thousands of people gone. Yes, it's all coming back to me now. When we arrived in orbit, the computer woke me, the ship's custodian, from cryosleep. To my horror, I discovered that the orbital terraformer had been completely destroyed. As I was scanning the debris field, the Ark was suddenly struck by a massive EM wave that overloaded our systems. Oh dear. The other colonists were still in stasis. They all died instantly when the surge fried their cryo tubes. With the ship crippled, I had no choice but to evacuate. My life pod was struck by debris during re-entry. It landed in the ocean and I started taking on water. I opened the hatch and bailed. I must have passed out at some point and finally washed up ashore. Okay, he's going for a walk by himself. I'm sure he'll have me take over at some point. At least the process was mostly completed before the terraform was destroyed. I should be able to survive here until the conglomerate comes to rescue me. Rescue me? Who am I kidding? They don't even know I'm alive. And even if they did, they'd never risk another ship just to save one person. And after this disaster, I doubt anyone will try settling here again. Not for a long time. I'll just have to get back to Earth myself. Cool. Okay. Robinson Crusoe does space. But how? I'll need to build a ship. Something capable of interstellar travel. My life pod sank. I don't have a chance of finding it in that ocean. There's no telling how far I drifted before washing ashore. I have nothing. I'll have to start from complete scratch. Right then. Oop. And now the unfortunate thing of that is because I have a controller in my hand, I didn't get to read any of that. Okay. However. Okay, so A on the controller is to pick up. And obviously, oh cool. Lots of new stuff learned. Gravel, rock hammer, mini blade, flint wedge, flint knife, flint chisel, flint axe, etc. Like my local beach. Always finding little bits of flint on that. Right, so looking at it, they stack up, so that's good. We have a hot bar. Now if I go with the mouse a minute. So, inventory. Wow. Lots of bits. And one scruffy looking urchin who needs to have a shave and find some better clothing. But I guess that's going to come in time. Right, so we've obviously got crafting tools. Exhaustion. Okay, so he's not tired at the minute. Well-rested bonuses. Stamina. Strength. Encumbrance. Right, so you can't. So we're carrying 2.4 with 15 kilos. Okay. And we can carry 40 different items. Right now it says 20 of 40. What's this 20 it's referring to? Is this stuff it's carrying that I'm not aware of, yeah? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So nice even rows of 10. So at the minute, we're not carrying a huge amount. Right, what's this bunny? Oh, a speed. How fast you move, okay. Words known. Well, quite a few, because you've just given us a full narrative there. Landmarks mapped. Okay, so yep. All about tools. Ooh, we get to do the mining. I'm a novice builder, obviously. And novice up pretty much everything else because I haven't actually done anything else yet. However, I'm going to be a master craftsman of absolutely everything. Maybe not in the demo, because I doubt the demo is going to give her that much room to learn it all, but we'll see. So at the minute, I'm plodding along. Oh, hang on, what's that? Pressing B opens up this screen. Right, so it's a case of using mouse and controller. It's not fully controller. Not yet, anyway. Right, masonry, so... Okay. Tools. And more materials. Okay. And obviously, we've not got anything else yet, so... And I guess you can set things as favourites. So yeah, that was the crafting menu. Right, what else can we do? Okay, I don't want to be doing that anyway. So they do nothing. Hang on. How does that work? Down took me to 3, up took me to 1, left took me to 4, and right took me to 2. Okie dokie then. Right, so I don't think I'll be worrying about that for too much for now. Let's begin our adventure. And like all good adventures, let's just pick up some stuff off the screen. Now, the one thing I did notice was I didn't see any form of weaponry there. So does this mean we're not going to be fighting? Or does it just mean... do I really want to be going into the creepy cave at this point? I literally have nothing but the rags on my back and my beard. Right, so if you hold down the left stick, you can walk a little bit faster. That's handy to know. And a flower. Find a flower. Okay. Right, this is a bit more like it. A wood nettle. Okay, we'll have that as well. And what's this? A dead leaf. Right, okay. Everybody needs dead leaves. No idea what for, but... Right, and... Lots of stuff. Come on, let's take it all. Obviously, we're not going to be at the point of cutting down trees yet, because... God, all that stuff coming up on the left-hand side. I missed it all. Too busy walking. But yeah, all this stuff we're collecting, I guess, is going to be used to craft stuff. So it's kind of all important at the minute. But the one thing I need to take notice of is this one. Okay, so we haven't started using anything else yet, but we're already using about a third of our maximum weight, so... Right. More flowers. We'll have you, and you, and you. Right, now what are you, little brown thing? Oh, a nut. Okay. We have sustenance. Now I'm curious. Nope, it will not let me walk into the sea. So that means I can't get that flower. Well, that's annoying. Right, that looks like a fruit bush. So... Okay. So certain actions, you have to use the mouse looking at this. Okay, you can use right click on the controller to do that. Okay. Okay, and that does that. Yeah, we don't want to be making any errors on that bit. Right, what does this one do? Right, so that opens that. Okay. So as I'm wandering around here, I'm not ignoring my scenery, because we need to find somewhere where we're going to set up camp, I assume. Like all survival games, you're not going to get very far unless you've got actually somewhere to live. Because you've got to set up your crafting stations and all that stuff. Some nice cool purple looking trees there. I like them. Right. Now there's a forest. Forests are good. Because that means I've got a source of wood right on my doorstep. So if I come down here... How far away from the sea am I? Right, so there's the beach down there. Okay. A few more of these while we're there. Again, I've no idea what I need them for, but I am a loot goblin. I do like to collect absolutely everything. And seeing some of that stuff not being picked up is already doing my head in. Right, so I don't have a map at this point. However, I have noticed my energy has just taken a little bit of a dip there. If you look in the top left hand corner, got a small sliver of white in that energy bar. Right. Now, I think I might do something stupid here. Oh, it won't let me run now. Does that mean I've got too much junk on me? Yes, I'm in combat. Right. Okay. So we know to the right, there's forest. In front of us is beach with rocks. This area here is like a plain or a meadow. So, yes, we got all this stuff. So, right about here, just between these couple of trees, let's see what we can craft. We've got plenty of stones and stuff like that, so... Okay. Raw materials. Yep. So we've got all these. So what do we do with them? Right, dead leaf. A brittle golden brown leaf, dried up and crisp. Perfect for tinder, as it catches fire easily. Okay. So that's a form of fuel. Gravel. A loose pile of small broken stones. Angular fragments fractured from larger rocks. Loose, this item can only be collected and carried in a container. Okay. Leaf. A fresh, supple leaf. Doesn't say what it's for. Twigs. A sturdy twig. Makes for good kindling. Okay. Right. Obviously, a flint axe. An axe is an axe. A chisel. Yeah, I notice it says fragile, fragile, fragile. Yep. And a flint knife. Right, so that sounds like a weapon to me. And a pickaxe. And a pouch. Okay. And a hammer. Right. Buildings. Okay. A simple bed made by arranging and laying leaves to create a soft surface. The overlapping leaves provide some cushion and insulation. Sleep quality 1 out of 5. Awful. Okay. Right, woodworking. Right. So, a long stick cut from the spine of a large tree branch. Still rough, covered in bark and small imperfections, but strong and well balanced. A medium stick. The same, but medium. Alright, and then we've got flint wedge and flint blade. So, right, stamina needed, so it says how much it takes. Tool wear, okay. Maximum power needed, right, so we've got flint. We can use a rock. And we get a blade, so let's do this. Alright, so we have to actually keep the button pressed down while it does it. Right, we can now make a flint saw as well. And we got an achievement. Right, so while we're there, let's do this one. Right, another one unlocked. Stonemason increased to beginner. Cool, that happened quite quick. Right. Broken stem. A cracked and splintered plant stem. The woody core has turned brittle and pale. Strands of fibre are beginning to show through. Okay. So fibre, we need broken stems. And from broken stems, we need flattened stems. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, and let's do another one. Now, watching my energy it does sap energy, which you'd kind of expect. Right, so I need salt water to do that. Okay, so I'm not getting any further on that just for now. I haven't discovered fire, I haven't discovered cooking or farming. Right, so what we now need to do is come here. So I need a medium stick for that. However, a flint chisel I can make from that. So let's go ahead and make one. Right, we now have a flint chisel. Good. And we can make a flint knife. Good. Right, tool making, we've increased to beginner now. So we can't do that until we get some long sticks. Long sticks for that as well. Right, we need a plant stem for that, so I can't do that until I've got salt water. And I can't do that, so we've basically done the only two tools we can actually do for now. Right, what I can do is I can make another one of these while we're waiting. And another one of these. And while we're there, I would think... Where is it? It will be around here somewhere. There we go. What? It's saying we need 99 leaves to make a rubbish bed. Okay. Ooh, so I can make a long stick. Okay. Right, and I can't make a medium stick. Look at all this stuff it's opening up. Right, wood chips, what are these used for? Right, small splintered fragments. Shaved or broken from larger pieces of wood. A common byproduct of woodworking. Yeah, but you're not saying what they're used for. Wooden stakes. A wooden stick with one end carved to a point. Okay. Okay, so you can actually strip the sticks. So even with it stripped, it's still knobbly and uneven with bumps and irregularities, so it's not exactly a smooth stick. Okay. Hang on, I thought I'd made a medium stick. Right, so 2 plant stems, and then we're good on that one. I thought I made a medium stick. I did. Look, I made a medium stick. Let's make another one. Inventory full. Aha. Right, so that's why. Okay, so are they going to just sit on the floor? That's the question. Because right now, there's not a lot I can do. I look. My inventory's full. Craft and wear a better backpack to use this slot. Okay. Textiles. Not even discovered textiles yet. In fact... I can't do any of them things. So all I can actually do for now is the things that it's showing. Which isn't a lot. Hang on, so... do I do? What's the question mark for there? That's just showing me the new items, right? Okay. Select recipe. Alright, so you can do multiples. Okay. However, right now, that doesn't much help me. Craft and wear. Gloves, okay. A shirt. Right, that's for backpacks. Okay. Right, so based on that, it automatically uses whichever tool it needs. Because it's not showing anywhere specific to put tools. Okay. However, I'm now wondering what to do here, because I'm full and I can't really do a lot else. Continue to have a little wander. I may actually go down and just stick my nose in that cave. I may well regret it, but we'll see. Right, how do I eat? Oh. I didn't want to drop them all. Yes, I'm having to go back to where I was because my inventory has lots of stuff in it. So, twigs, that sort of stuff. Medium branches. I'm going to drop them. Because I want them. I want medium sticks. Right, because with medium sticks, and plant stems, hang on, I thought I'd done plant stems. Where are they? Okay, let's drop that. Wow, it really does get dark. Okay, we'll try that again, shall we? Let's drop that flower. And let's drop that leaf. That's what we want. Well, that's annoying. Right. You go sit with your buddies. Plant stems. Right, try again. We now have an axe. So, okay, so he is chopping. The problem is, it's too dark to actually see much. Okay. Lots of new stuff. And of course our inventory is full. So just because we can't pick it up doesn't mean we can't chop it though. Right, there we go. Chopped. And we've got branches sat there as well. However, we are getting somewhat low on our energy here. Right, so flitch, a rough flat slab of wood made by splitting a log vertically, unfinished with natural imperfections, but solid and sturdy. So basically it's a plank of wood. Right, a log with its rough bark removed, revealing the smooth pale wood up beneath. And we've got anything else? Oh, a wood round. A thick, roughly circular slice of wood cut from a log, rough and uneven. Yeah, firewood. Right. Unfortunately, that doesn't help us with our current predicament, which is we need energy or sleep. And as it stands, we can't really do either. Red berry, raw material. How do I eat you? Ah, if left on the ground, it'll grow into a new one, okay? Right, so is there anything else new? I don't have a means to cook yet. So yeah, no basic stuff that. So I need 2 more plant stems if I want to do that. And no doubt this is going to drop on the floor. Yeah, because we're full again. Still. Okay. We're now an apprentice rope maker. Right. Okay, so we can't make rotted stems until we get salt water. And obviously we need a flask to get salt water. So until we get that, it means they are both out the questions. So we can't make fibre until we get salt water, basically. Okay. Obviously we can't do that yet. And we're a long way from metallurgy. So the obvious thing to me is we need to make them. Now, the problem with us making either of them, and that we can't see bugger all on the screen at the minute, let's... How do I get rid? No. I'll drop it that way. Right. I'm going to jump back to here. I'm going to make as many as it'll let me make of these before I run out of energy. I assume if I run out of energy, I'm either going to die or just collapse. I am noticing a little red bar at the top there that's starting to creep along. We come back up here. You can go there. Right. So whether I like it or not, I'm gradually making a store pile here. Right, so now we go back to here and to here. And there we have it. We have a flint pickaxe now. So they don't have a huge amount of durability. Right, I can't make the flint saw because we don't have adhesive. We don't have access to it yet. However, I can make a rock hammer. Now, I assume making a rock hammer is going to open up more crafting things. Or not. I thought that was going to open up some stuff. Right, okay. I didn't mean to throw that away. Right then. So, for the purposes of this exercise, why can't I cut that? And why does that keep saying craft? I'm not sure what it means. Oh, right, then it acts as a chopping block. Right, so we're just going to have a little play here and see if I can unlock some more stuff by doing what I'm doing here. Okay, right. Right, a thick length of timber, rough and uneven, but strong. Okay. And I wanted to make one of them. I don't know why I want one of them, but I want one of them. Okay, not enough stamina. Right then. How do I get my stamina up then? I only have 50 leaves, so I'm some distance away from making a leaf bed. That and it's basically too dark, I can't see. Right, I'm going to do the obvious silly thing here. I'm in an alien world. I haven't seen any signs of nature or wildlife or anything like that yet. And there's a cave. I'm almost out of stamina. I've got a nasty red bar creeping its way across. And there's a cave. Is it going to let me go in the cave? The tide has carved a shallow nook into the cliff face, offering a sliver of shelter from the wind and rain. I can always sleep here if I'm desperate. I'm desperate. Right. We're gonna sleep until we've got some stamina. That might mean... Indeed. By the time we wake up... It's daytime. Right. Okay. So, me being cautious, thinking there was bound to be aliens or monsters or whatnot in there, I was clearly wrong. And I'm glad I took the risk. Right, I know my inventory is full, so let's do that. Simple fact is, I don't need to be carrying all that stuff. But I would like that there. Okay, okay, I've learnt paper. So I don't have a bed, but I can write. Okay, so I can make them things. Right, how's my inventory doing? Wrong one. I don't have a lot of space. So instead of going around and just gathering more stuff a minute, I'm just going to have a wee wander. Let's see how big the map is with it being a demo. Okay, it goes on a bit of a distance. Hang on, I've just realised. Paper. Doesn't paper mean... Ah. Oh. Okay. Got my hopes built up there. Yeah, paper. What are maps made of? Paper. Sooner or later, I've got to see some form of wildlife, some indigenous species or another. Unless... What was that resin? Haha, I thought it might be. Unless the developer hasn't got round to putting any of those things in yet. Remember, this is just a demo. Right. Gourds. They're definitely food items. So the forest is our friend looking at it. Kind of. Right, more water. So, the rock is the north end of the map. The water's obviously another boundary, and seeing as we can't swim yet. In the meantime, I see more resin and more gourds. We'll have you, thank you. So this was the other reason for my little trek. It wasn't just about seeing the perimeters. It was about finding other resources. Oh, there is an awful lot of trees. Now, I don't know if the trees, with them being different colours, if that means there's different woods or something. I don't know. Okay, yes, I'm full again. Right. Understood. I don't have the means to make a chest or anything to store stuff in. I won't pick them gourds. There's no point. Not if I can't carry them. However, I can still carry a bit more resin. And we need resin, I believe, to make that saw. Right, so we've seen the right-hand side. We know what the bottom is anyway. The bottom's the beach and the sand. We're back to our potential camp now, which we're just going to walk straight through, because now we want to have a look what's to the left. Strictly speaking, we want to have a look at what's up to the north and the west here. Right, so I don't want to run. Running would mean getting there quicker, but it also means stamina's used quicker. And I don't really want to use my stamina up at the minute. I'll use it when it needs to be used. In the meantime, I'm assuming this is the left-hand side of our island. In what I'm now assuming, it's either a peninsula or an island. And now we're approaching the granite again. Alright. Too heavy to run. Alright. I'm encumbered anyway, so I can't run if I want to. So what I'm seeing here, I'm not seeing much that's going to really help me make a spaceship. At least not yet. And it's evening again. And it gets dark at night. Now if there was monsters in the game, I could make a perfect quote from the film Aliens just about now. Because they do mostly come out at night. Mostly. But I'm not seeing any monsters yet, so that's kind of a mute point just for now. Right, so I need to come up with fire. If Tom Hanks can do it on a stranded beach, I'm damn sure I can too. I've got flint. I've got stone. I've got bits of wood. That, to me, sounds like the perfect recipe for fire. Right. The leaves can go back down. Don't need them for now. Juicy flesh within. But you're not telling me how I can eat it. So for now, it can go on my pile. Okay, so we've got some wood chips. We've got our resin, which was important. Ooh, chemistry. So, a viscous pitch-based glue. Thick and water resistant. It hardens into a tough, flexible band. Band? Yes. Liquid, this item can only be collected and carried in a flask. So, we can't make it until we've got a flask. Right. So, pitch. A sticky mass of reduced resin. Tough, water resistant and viscous. Again, it's a liquid, so it can only be stored in a flask. Right. Raw materials. Dried gourd shell. Okay. So we need all those bits to make a dried gourd shell. Cooking. Cooking. Important. What? Where's my flint knife gone? I didn't use that up already, did I? We need to carry some many. Right, so we've got a flint blade. Okay, we shall make another flint knife then. Okay. I'm wondering, dried gourd shell. That kind of sounds like a rudimentary flask. First of all, let's get some gourds opening. I'm now a beginner chef. Now, in real life, I'm actually rather a master chef, but that's besides the point. I didn't put nearly 20 years into being a chef to just be a beginner. But funnily enough, in all of those years of being a chef, we virtually never did anything with gourds. I can't recall them being on virtually any restaurant menu in any of the places I worked. And even when I was head chef, it's not something I considered doing into recipes. I probably would now, but at the time, it just didn't. It had limitations. It didn't make for a good menu item. Right. A gourd with its top cut away, revealing the soft, succulent flesh within. The tender fruit can be scooped out and eaten by hand. Right. So, how does... Ooh. I believe I ate one. I don't know what it did, but I ate it. Okay, so it doesn't get rid of the red one, but it does get your stamina back up. And then it gives you the guard shells, right. Tough and rubbery. However, not dried. Now what we need to do is we need to go back in here and do another 3 of these. Right. And then what we'll do is we'll put them on our ever-growing pile on the floor. And just for now, we're going to go have a little sleep again. Just for the simple fact, it's really dark and it's not the nicest seeing basically a sign saying eat and not seeing much else. I didn't want to eat one of those gourds. So that's 5 hours. So that was 7 hours it took. So, okay. So its night times aren't too dissimilar to our own. Right, I've got space for a bit more. So what I want to do is, for obvious reasons, I'm going to go and wander around the entire map and pick up every leaf I can find. Because I think it's time to make that leaf mat thing. Any leaves? Yes, there's leaves. So I think I've already got probably 70 sat in that pile back at camp. Probably isn't the most efficient way of getting leaves. When I've got a forest to the right, wandering around finding these little isolated trees is probably taking more time than I needed to give it. See, now one thing I'm noticing is we haven't had any rain yet. That I've noticed, anyway. Right, let me just look. That's 15. Right, so I need to probably pick up that amount again, I reckon. I spot more resin. We'll have you. Okay, so surprisingly enough, it's not actually that much easier getting the leaves this way. Because despite all these trees, there isn't that many leaves lying around. There we go. So there's 30. So let's go back, pick up all these other leaves, and get ourselves a little makeshift bed made. That's not bad. We're an hour in, and we're finally about to get a bed. Progress. In most survival games, I'd have been dead about 50 times by now, as a result of this. Right, leaf. Don't need you. Did I pick some of them back up? Oh, hang on. I could have sworn I had more leaves than that. Because sadly, by that reckoning, I'm still 20 short. Is that right? Yeah, I'm still well short. I thought I had a pile of 50 and a pile of 20 or 30 leaves. Not to worry. Right, I'm just going to pick up a few more just so we've got some spare. I don't want to have just the exact right amount. Thankfully, there's quite a few leaves in this little area. nothing. Oh. It's killing me not being able to pick all of this stuff up all at once. Look at it all. So much stuff, but I can't carry it all. And even if I did, I couldn't carry it all because of the weight, never mind the amount of inventory slots. And this is bugging me. Get any proper place. I get the feeling I might find out the hard way here. Does stuff you drop on the floor despawn, or does it just stay there? But where are we? Oh, I don't know. Right there will do. Just a case of getting used to the mechanics. There we go. We now have a leaf sleeping bag, basically. So, that's definitely progress. It means I don't have to go down to that cave anymore to sleep. However, I've got those and I've got that. And I don't have that. But to get that I need adhesive. Now to get adhesive means I need a dried gourd shell. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. Ooh, farming. Right. That I need pinched. And salt water. Right. Where is it? I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Right at the beginning. Okay, so I need pitch. I need crushed charcoal. So to get crushed charcoal, I assume I need fire. I also need ash, so I need fire. So that doesn't quite make sense. I'm trying to make one, but I need one to make one. Oops, I need to go. I'm next to my chopping block. maybe I'm being a bit silly, but I was thinking that might open something up to make me fire. Obviously, I can't do that. I'm obviously years away from that, and I doubt that would even be in the demo. I get the feeling I need to make one of them. So I need rock. Okay. Where's my pile of rocks? Okay. We need to drop something again. I've got a few spaces now, so let's make one of them. Right, I'll move back to wood. We need a strip log. And to get a strip log means we need a log. And to get a log means we need to cut down a tree. Because this big one here, I don't suppose it's going to let me do anything with it. I think I need a saw to do anything with that. And I'm a long way from getting one of them. Right, hang on a minute. I'm on an axe now. Ooh, maybe I can. Okay. So we've now got 2 of them. So, need to strip it first. So, I must be getting some woodworking points. It takes an awful long while for that. Right, so now we can do this. And as I thought, certain things open up. One of them being that, the workbench. Right. However, I need to cut down a couple more trees, right, so let's go tree cutting. Don't need that one there. That can come down. Okay. So that'll give her a load more branches. But I don't want to pick them up just now, because we've got inventory problems. And that'll give us 4 logs. So by my reckoning... Oh, That sure fills up quick. And if I'd known it was about to get dark that moment, if I bothered to look at the time of day, I would have known. But I wouldn't have bothered eating them gourds. I would have just slept. Right, come on. We want you. And let's go back to the axe, which is about to... So yeah, my axe is about to run out. Where's my bed? It's up here somewhere. Oh, it gets dark. Right, it's only 1 star sleep. Okay. I'm on 7 hours sleep. Sleep until night, no. There we go. Which won't be very long. Hang on, I've only got 1 of 4 logs. Where's the rest of them? Are they all sat there? Damn. Tell you what. Don't need to be carrying that for a minute. One, 2, 3. So I need 1 more. Then more berries can go on the ground. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Right, that's some real progress. Wooden shovel. That's new. Simple shovel made by lashing a flitch to the end of a long stick using plant stems. Functional, but breaks easily. I knew you were going to say that. Right. So with fireboard and dead leaves, we get fire. Now, I'm not going to do what Tom Hanks did in the film Castaway. I'm not going to run around shouting a certain song by the Doors. Made by hands. What does that mean? Ah. I didn't see that. We need medium sticks. Right, I'm off of space. I got a bit. I also have my stash over here. I'm hoping this one is medium. Okay. See, I hadn't noticed you've got that. I don't want to set it at 5 though. Oh right, it automatically counts down, that's better. I was going to say, because if I'd set it at 5, I'd end up making 5 of everything because I'd forget it to turn it down again. Right, so it defaults back to 1. Good. Right. Pardon? Wooden stake. So that's S wooden stake, not just wooden stake. However, I don't have anything called an S wooden stake yet. So tell me I'm mistaken with this. You can go a minute. However, I'm still going to have storage problems. You can be gone. Get rid of you a minute. So, I need to make some long sticks. Right, what is that? And that fills me up again. Good grief. Right then, so short sticks. My flint knife's going to run out soon, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so we now have that. We've now got that, but we need our dead leaves back. Right, so that gives us fire. However, that gives us fire for about 4 seconds. Obviously, that's not the fire itself. We need that, and probably some kind of kindling. I don't know. So, something like wood chips. And twigs or something to get a campfire started. So, yes. So far, we've got a workbench and a rough bed. Where's this new one? Okay. We've learnt a few little bits. What's this? A regular squared length of timber. Okay. I assume that's going to open some stuff up. The same as... I assume that's going to open some stuff up. So, have we got any more logs left? No. Right. Time to go find a tree. Can I actually... No, you can't cut the bases. Yes, I know, I heard. I need plant stems, of course I do. Okay. I don't need to go too far from there. Which one was it? That one. Okay, let's pick these plant stems up. It's not going to finish, is it? I knew it. Not enough stamina. Right, so we're going to need to sleep. We're going to wake up in the middle of the night. Okay. I can't say anything, so we need to sleep a bit more, at least till it's daytime. Right. Shall we go back to what we were doing before our stamina decided to interrupt us? Our inventory is full again. Of course it is. I don't want to drop the nuts because it says if left on the ground they'll start to grow. I don't want to grow new trees from them just yet. I want the logs. Right. So that's me with 4 logs again now. So which one do we want? That one, isn't it? But to do that means we have to strip the logs. It's really stamina intense, this one. It doesn't have to take you down a lot. just get this made. First, I need one of them. And I need a twig. I've got plenty of twigs laying all over the place now. Right, so where were we? I know it's in use. I put it in use. I think the stacking for this game is a little bit low. So, for me, I think, so rock, you can only stack 5. I think that should be, say, 10 or 20. Logs, I think, should be 5, not 1. We have such a limited amount of inventory space that I think that's a bit cruel. And it feels a little bit, it makes it feel too much of a chore. So I think some of these could just be tweaked just to be a little bit higher. Just to balance it. Just so, yeah, otherwise you're having this constant battle with the inventory, which kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit. It's only the demo, so I expect stuff to be changed before we get to the full release of the game anyway. But I am kind of hoping that's one of the things, that the inventory gets balanced a little bit better. The other thing is that I think in very, very early game, a storage chest, even if it's just something really rough and ready, made from twigs, there should be some way that you can store stuff. That means you're not doing that. Because having a whole shed load of stuff just scattered, and then if you put stuff on top of each other like that, it means you've got to go through it all to get to whatever item that's in that pile. And that's annoying. Right, in the meantime, I'm full again. So I need to drop something again. And I don't even know what to drop, because it's all needed for stuff. Right. So I pick that up. I then go back to here. Now the aim was to make this. Right, I'll do these one at a time. Right. And how many cans do I need? Okay. That's what it tells me it's full again. Right, where was I? What was I making? That's right, I was making a beam. Okay, so now that I've made a rough wooden beam, what can I do with it? Does that open stuff up at the workbench? No. So that doesn't make a huge lot of sense to me. So I would have thought new recipes would have opened up with that. And I'm a little bit confused as to why they don't. We don't have any for now. Is there anything else I can unlock just yet? No. Right then. For now, I think I'm going to stop, because this is just the demo. You've seen all the basics for the game. You should have seen enough to allow you to make a little bit of a judgment on whether it looks like it's got the potential for fun or not. I think it really does. I do think a few things, as I've mentioned, need a little bit more balancing just to make them more fun. After all, yes, it's a survival game and it's not everything's supposed to be straightforward. And we know you start from scratch with nothing, no items, no materials, nothing. That's all fine. But by this point, an hour and 40 minutes in, still having to swap so much of the inventory around to do some really basic things, that's a bit of a fun killer. I would carry on. It wouldn't stop me, but it makes it not as fun, and it makes me not wanting to jump at the next bit so quick. But aside from that, hey, what did you think? Leave a comment, let me know what you think of it so far. I think there's a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to see the full game when it arrives. But for now, we'll call it there. I might do a little bit more off camera because, yes, I want to see what comes next. But for now, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget, as every other channel on YouTube says, pop a subscribe. I've watched thousands of YouTube videos, and I've heard it said so many times, and I never used to think anything about it. Once you start your own channel, and you start putting videos up, you realise just how much of a motivator it actually is. When you see your little subscriber number go up, whether it's 1 a day or 100 a day, it gives you a buzz. It makes you feel better about what you're doing. So, anyway, now I've said that, thanks now. You take care. Bye-bye.